Today, we're diving into a dream that's pretty universal. It's something that connects a tinkerer in their garage to scientists at the world's most advanced physics labs, the quest for the ultimate all-in-one machine.
You know, this quote from a Reddit user just gets right to the heart of it, doesn't it? It's a dream so many of us have had, especially if you're a gamer. Just think about it. One single box, one power cord, one machine to play everything. No more messing with inputs, no more nightmare of cables behind the TV, just pure, simple, unified gaming.
And believe it or not, while it might still be a fantasy for most of us, some absolutely brilliant people have actually gone out and built it. So we're going to look at two incredible projects that took this idea and turned it into real working hardware.
So on one side, you've got this incredible passion project from a modder named Xiaoningsu XNZ, who all by himself managed to combine 3 of the latest consoles. And then on the other side, you have a corporate powerhouse, Origin PC, who basically threw the kitchen sink at the problem. A PS5, an Xbox, a Switch, and a high-end gaming PC, all into one massive liquid-cooled beast. The approaches are totally different, but the goal, it's exactly the same. Bring these separate gaming worlds together in one box.
Okay, let's start with that passion project, the Nintendo PXBOX 5, because it's just such a fascinating hardware puzzle. I mean, how do you actually take 3 completely different consoles, each with its own power demands and cooling systems, and physically cram them into one compact case so they can all live together?
So, cooling 3 powerful consoles in one tiny box is a massive, massive hurdle. Normally, you'd need a custom aluminum heatsink, which would have to be CNC milled, and that costs a fortune. But this modder used a much more clever and way older technique, lost wax casting. This is a process that's been around for literally thousands of years, and it let them create the perfect custom part right there in their own workshop.
And this is the result. A single, solid block of aluminum. Now, if it looks familiar, it's because it was inspired by Apple's iconic trash can Mac Pro. Its unique triangular shape is the cooling system for all 3 consoles at the same time. You combine that with a shared 250-watt power supply, and that's the secret sauce for shrinking 3 devices into one. It's a physical, almost brute force solution to a hardware problem, and honestly, it's just incredibly cool. But here's where things get really interesting. This core idea, making different systems work together, it goes so much deeper than gaming. In fact, it's a fundamental problem that scientists and engineers at the highest levels are trying to solve every single day. They're just using a different set of tools.
This big picture problem actually has a name: heterogeneous computing. I know it sounds really complex, but the idea is basically the same. Just like a gamer wants their PlayStation and Xbox to play nice, a scientist needs all these different specialized processors, CPUs, GPUs, you name it, to work together as efficiently as possible to solve massive, complex problems.
And this is a really big deal at places like CERN, the European Organization for Nuclear Research, right? They're smashing particles together, generating just unbelievable amounts of data. And some of those calculations are perfect for a CPU, but others absolutely need the raw power of a GPU. If you make the wrong choice, or even just a slightly inefficient one, you are wasting precious time, electricity, and a whole lot of research money.
But here's the thing, you can't just melt down a CPU and a GPU and cast them into a single block of aluminum. So CERN's solution isn't physical, it's digital. They're building this super sophisticated software tool called Adaptist, and its whole job is to be the ultimate traffic cop, analyzing the work that needs to be done and intelligently sending each task to the perfect processor for the job.
So there you have it, 2 completely different ways of tackling the same fundamental problem. You've got one person in their workshop with molten aluminum, and you've got a team of scientists at their keyboards writing code. But both of them are trying to solve the exact same puzzle. How do you tame the chaos of all this different hardware?
The modder's hardware approach, well, it physically forces these different systems to live together, mostly for convenience and to save space. On the flip side, the scientist's software approach builds a kind of universal translator, a smart layer of code that lets all the different systems cooperate, all for the sake of pure performance and efficiency.
So, does the software approach actually work? Well, these early results are looking really, really good. This table here shows us the performance overhead, which is basically the cost of running the software itself. And if you look at that column on the right, you can see the cost is tiny. We're talking around 5%. That is a very small price to pay for making the whole system smarter.
This chart just confirms it. That slight overhead is happening at the system level, which is exactly what you'd expect. The big takeaway here is that these tools are both stable and efficient. The data is proving that a software-first approach to unifying hardware isn't just some theory, it's a real practical solution.
But here's the twist in the story. It doesn't matter if you solve the problem with hardware or with software. This quest for unification, it can never actually be finished, because just when you think you've got everything working perfectly together, something new comes along.
And there's no better way to see this in action than by looking at this fantastic fictional Wikipedia page. It's for a Nintendo Switch 2, imagined to be released in June of 2025. This thing perfectly captures the challenge that's always just around the corner.
I mean, just look at these specs. A custom NVIDIA chip called Drake, a totally new ARM CPU architecture, Ampere-based graphics. Every single one of these components is a new, unique piece of hardware that has to be integrated all over again. That awesome Nintendo PXBOX 5 we saw earlier, according to this future timeline, it's already out of date.
And that right there is the perpetual cycle of innovation. The problem of heterogeneous computing isn't really a bug that we need to fix. It's more like a fundamental feature of technology always moving forward. Every new invention creates a new silo, and every new silo inspires someone to try and unify everything all over again.
So it really leaves us with this final, fascinating question to think about. What is the ultimate machine? Is it that one perfect physical object like the modder's amazing console? Or is it the invisible, intelligent software that can adapt to and master any hardware you throw at it? It's a question that modders, scientists, and all of us will probably be trying to answer for a long, long time.